Air bubbles in pool. I noticed my pump is putting out 30 psi and there are bubbles coming out of one of the return jets. The vacuum doesn't cover the whole pool. It goes in a circle and likes to stay by the connection. I thought there was air in the pool hoses since they float, but even after priming the hoses, I still have air bubbles. I also see air inside the pump and I can hear air being sucked through the filter. Is there anything in particular you would recommend investigating? I've already replaced the O-rings a few months ago.
All right, let's start at the vacuum. Obviously, this is a suction side vacuum. I would start there and check all of the hoses to make sure there's no cracks in the hoses themselves that attach to the vacuum. Number one. Number two, as long as you're not losing water, we don't have to worry about there being an underground leak or a crack in a pipe. But at the equipment, either a valve on the suction side of the pump, or either it's a union and an O-ring that threads into the front of the pump, or it's a male adapter that threads into the front of the pump. That's a good chance somewhere in there. Replace the gasket for the top of the pump is another thing to check. Also the housing. If you look at the housing in the pump itself, where the strainer basket comes out, there's sometimes cracks in that, and no matter what you do, you're drawing air in right there. So those are the basic things that would cause an air bubble that you would see coming into the filter, and then the sound of it as that air is being pushed through the filter system, you're hearing the gurgling there and then the spitting back into the pool. So either a cracked hose in the vacuum, or a valve leak, or whatever transitions into the pump, whether it's a fitting with a gasket and an O-ring in it, or if it's a male adapter that threads in, that's a good chance there's a leak there. If the pump ran dry for any period of time, that sometimes that fitting shrinks a little bit when it heats up and then air gets in there, or the O-ring on the top of the pump, or the housing for the pump itself. And those would be all of the most obvious places to look.